right, what's up? All right, what's up? All right, what's up? All right, what's up? I'm Hunter Hornstein alongside Ryan Moore, and this is Behind the Seams presented by RipTydz, Oceanfront Grille, and Rooftop Bar. Bang. Brand new set we got going on here. This place looks pretty dang good.
I love it. It's so bright and colorful. And I'll be honest, I wasn't really involved in any of the planning or see any of the, not schematics, but any of the drawings and renderings they had for this. So when I walked up one day and the concrete was painted and the thing was starting to come to life, it was a breath of fresh air. I love it.
New whole area. They've got AstroTurf down here. We've got picnic tables. We've got colorful high tops. And then you've got this awesome bar that has been repainted, redone, the RipTydz rally deck out here in left field. A great mural up there, too. And they're also not done. I've been told that this whole place right here, it's all like teal and aqua over here, and there's going to be a big old mural. Or I guess, right? Their logo, their mural. We're getting nods from behind the cameras out here. And after the last few games in our first homestand, this place has been hopping. It's been bustling, and it is a fun place to be if you are coming to a game here at Pelicans Ballpark. Leading off is Jody from Facebook. And what is your most memorable opening day moment? Which is quite fitting as we have just started off the 2022 season.
So hi, Jody. Thanks for your question. The easiest one I think to say would probably be the most recent because it is so fresh. I'm trying to think back over the years, and what I will say that one thing that that Ryan usually always impresses Andy Milovich Milo, our president and GM before him, and that's who I came up under. Always impressed upon us, especially during opening night, all the work that we've put in. Find 2 minutes during the game to just step back and kind of soak in the atmosphere and realize what we have worked so hard for and what we're bringing to life and the enjoyment that we're bringing to fans, the smiles and everything else. And trying to think back at, I think the very first season I was here, I made a point to go out onto the what is now the bullpen deck that overlooks our home bullpen and kind of take it all in. Get you that outfield view and really see those seats packed. But I do have to say that this opening day is going down in the books for me personally, and I would think probably for a lot of others for a myriad of reasons. But first is the GM, and I think we had some additional hurdles, we'll say this opening night, but kudos to the staff for figuring it out and pulling it off in a fantastic manner.
David, though, wants to know from Twitter, he wants to know who is a player you are excited to watch play and develop this season?
Gosh, there's a lot of young talent on the team for sure. We've got Pete Crow Armstrong, his handle or nickname, I guess, rather, abbreviation is PCA. James Triantos. There's a lot of different guys, I think, that are going to be really exciting to watch.
Kristen, away we go. What are you looking forward to this season?
The rest of it, right? No. You laugh, but truly I am. We've got the first series under our belt. Think we've got our sea legs, if you will, starting to get those under us, and I think once we really get in and start rocking and rolling, this place was packed on Tuesday and for the opener, and the atmosphere was absolutely amazing. Nights like that is what I'm looking forward to. I don't know that there's one specific promotion or night that I'm most looking forward to. I think in general it's just the overall atmosphere and people coming and going. So they make for long weeks and days and nights for our staff, but we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't love and enjoy it. And this is what we plan all year for. So let's go, right?
Captain R. Moore is back in the chair, the co-hosting chair. We are back at RipTydz Oceanfront Grille Rooftop Bar, third deck. It's a little windy out here, but we got delicious beverages. We got El Capitan back. And what is up, Ryan Moore?
It is windy. Feels good, though.
It
feels great. Birds are hot. We're just coming off of our first no-hitter in ballpark history, franchise history. So feeling good. It felt like a Corona day. Sit back and relax. So something to keep an eye on as this show progresses. We do have a storm about 10 miles south of us that could do one of two things. It could dump on us, and that'll be the end of the show. Or hopefully what we'll see is it come across the line here, but you can see the red flag out there today. Single red, so some danger, but they're not keeping people out of the water.
It's kind of how it goes out here too, though.
What flag are you most scared of?
What's the one with the big rip? No. Sorry, no, not the big rip. The blues with the animals.
Yeah, the blue is my scariest one.
Yeah, blue when there's something in the water. Obviously, there's something always in the water, but when they like have visual confirmation that hey, we saw something out there, because that's not our domain. We're visitors to the ocean.
A lot of times it can mean jellyfish.
Not a big fan of the old sting of the jelly. Next question. Greg from Twitter. Hey, Moore, I saw that the Birds threw a no-hitter. How many have you seen in your life? How exciting was that for it to happen at home?
It's extremely exciting to see it at home. That's the second one that I've seen. That's the first one that I've been a part of through work. I saw Ubaldo Jimenez throw one against the Braves when he was a Rocky, probably circa 2012, 2013 era. Saw that one with my good buddy Josh Hawley, who a former Pelicans employee as well. And then the other night, the combined no-hitter. Wish I could have seen more of the actual game. I think, to be fair, it was lost on a handful of people that what was actually going on because of the jinx potential of talking about it. You know, if you weren't plugged into the game, you might not have noticed that there was a no-hitter going. But I did hear that Sam put out some tweets that may have caused some frustrations if things had gone in another direction. But I didn't see that till after the fact.
Poor Sam.
This is behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was exciting.
What I wish I had seen the end of the game, because a lot of times once we get to that ninth inning, I'll try to make a point to get out there to see the end, especially if we're on the winning side of the game. And I would have just been sitting there and be like, holy cow, he is very excited to win an 8-0 game. Like, wow. Like, that emotion. And
especially Rindle's reaction.
Yeah, I feel like
where like the double fist bump, he spiked the glove. Ethan Hearn's just screaming into the air behind home plate.
I would have liked to know how long it would have taken me to realize that. But
that would have been great.
What is going on?
They're really excited to win 5 out of 6 against the Fireflies.
The clubhouse, like, you can pop in for 30 seconds after a game and pretty much have a good idea of what went on. And it was on the level of emotion of winning a championship, clinching a playoff berth. The entire team was fired up. I think the fact that it was a combined no-hitter, too, it extended it beyond just, the pitcher-catcher. There's 3 pitchers, a catcher, and, that team is very close. I've used it in the past that, they almost have that camaraderie of a college team, the hooting and hollering and getting excited while they play the game, and that just went tenfold after the no-hitter.
Speaking of Buddy Bailey, 2,222 wins by the time this episode airs. Pretty incredible. Not sure when it's going to happen, but by the time this episode airs, it will have happened. Did we already do the math? How many wins? That's like 15 or something like that?
How many seasons of wins?
Yeah.
It's 15.87 seasons, so we're just going to call it 16 seasons of nothing but winning.
That's incredible. But we are at the midway mark of the Pelican season. Just got done with another great homestand. A lot of fun to be had at the ballpark, as well as saying goodbye to an alternate logo, an alternate moniker that has been with the family for a while. But it was time to set it free, set it off into the ocean there, Ryan.
The final swim, I believe, right?
The final swim.
Yeah, old Kenny Powers. Eastbound and Down was filmed in Myrtle Beach. I believe it was in 2010, maybe the second season, and they filmed it at our ballpark. They were a make-believe minor league team that Kenny Powers was coming back through the ranks and in his pursuit of making the big leagues, and just a bunch of debauchery. And we've had some fun with it over the years, but I think the time has come for old Kenny to take his final swim. That being caveated is if Danny McBride ever wants to come to the ballpark, Kenny Powers is back alive again.
He comes back off the beach.
He swims back.
He comes back. From Instagram, Nate Move 5 wants to know what's the coolest thing at the park.
I think it depends on who you are and what you came for, and I think that may be the coolest thing about the park. A couple of guys were sitting behind me and say, this is the cool aspect of minor league baseball. It's like the spring training is what they referenced it, is like you're right on top of the action, and these guys are throwing 98 miles an hour. Alcantara had a 458-foot home run the other night that had an exit velo of 113. That's big league numbers. And to be able to see that from 10 feet away, that may be the coolest thing for your pure baseball enthusiasts. So there's something for everybody. We were just talking, my kids, and obviously the coolest thing for them is the bounce house and the playground and the speed pitch and that. But a lot of folks are saying the new RipTydz rally deck is the coolest area. If you haven't come out to the park and seen it, make sure you do. It's over in left field, overlooks the field. It's got the same kind of colors and vibes that this place here does. There's something for everyone. I know it's kind of that canned answer, but I think it's too hard to kind of pigeonhole and say this is the coolest aspect of the ballpark, because that's a subjective kind of personal feeling. I think the coolest fact or factoid of the ballpark is the history of the actual seats.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The fact that they came from Fulton County Stadium. Can somebody look up? Can somebody look up and see when Fulton County Stadium was built? Or Fulton County? Yeah. Old Brave Stadium.
We've got a research department for this episode.
We do. If they're going to sit here and just watch, we're going to put them to work. Those seats, when the Braves left Fulton County Stadium and went to Turner Field, they obviously weren't taking those old seats. 1965 was when Fulton County, and that's what we believe these seats were from the initial start of Fulton County Stadium. So 1965, Braves left for Turner Field. Capital Broadcasting at the time, with us being a Braves affiliate at the time, bought those used seats and shipped them to Myrtle Beach, and those are still the seats that are in the park today. So outside of potentially Buddy Bailey, those seats have probably seen more baseball than most people on the face of this planet.
All right. Welcome to the show. This is Sam Weider. He's our broadcaster. You guys hear him on the radio and stuff, or MILB.TV. Sam, go ahead and ask your question to Ryan.
Why'd you ask the question? Why?
Because I'm looking for guidance myself
from
you,
you're
from
not,
the man that's
this is not
an
authentic.
expert in this department.
This is not sincere and authentic. Sam, and it wasn't from me initially. I did side with the folks that were talking about Sam's wardrobe choices,
right.
Specifically his socks choice. And what type of socks were you wearing with what type of shoes?
I was wearing white ankle socks with what these guys call boat shoes. I just call sneakers, but supposedly they are boat shoes that are not supposed to be worn with socks. So, and with black dress pants. That was the big thing. Yeah, forgot to say that.
I like no-shows if I'm wearing shorts.
Right.
Even some pant variety. I'm not a big calf sock guy. That's not my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't think I own a pair of whatever style you had. My favorite color sock, or just favorite color?
Favorite color sock. I mean, this is what the
color sock
the whole
depends
thing
on
was
what the outfit looks like.
That's fine. Yeah.
You don't wear red socks with a blue outfit.
Right.
Vice versa. I typically like to wear a sock color that blends in with the shoe, because I'm a no-show guy. So if it does show, I'd rather it be the same color opposed to like a black dress sock with boat shoes, which stands out like a no-wake sign on the middle of the intercoastal.
Didn't know it was that bad.
No, it's not that bad. Have you been more aware of your socks choices as you're putting them on now?
And then actually, Sunday, one of our Sunday games of a recent homestand, I put on black Nike ankle socks. And I said to myself, the guys are going to love this. And I went in the war room, and I pulled up my pant legs, and sure enough, it was a big hit. So,
no kidding.
Yeah.
That didn't make its way down the hallway.
It should have.
Nobody talked about the wonderful socks of Sam.
Canelo looks disgusted over there. We are recording this at the All-Star break. We are past the halfway mark of our season, the minor league season, but we are getting ready to rock and roll into the final stretch of the year. A lot of fun stuff has happened, but we are most recently on the heels of a second no-hitter at Pelicans Ballpark.
Pretty amazing. If you think about it, I think it was 2017 was the most recent prior to or coming into this year, and to have two, full staff multi-pitcher doubleheaders, both of them at home as well. Like that's the fan excitement was great. We had a great crowd Sunday night for that. The guys are doing good, right? Like at the plate, on the mound, in the field. Even with the promotions that we've had, the guys that have come in to backfill have all stepped up to the plate. No pun intended, and have performed well. And it's a fun group of guys to watch play baseball. There's so much enthusiasm. There's a ton of action. There's home runs, stolen bases, bunts. Trianto stole home the other night. Like that. It's fun. It's not your average baseball team. It's not your average baseball game, and it's reflecting, in the stands and in the standing.
Besides the two no-hitters and the playoff clincher, what has been your favorite memory of the season so far?
Actually happened Sunday as well. Jackson's third birthday at the ballpark. And
Happy birthday, Jackson. And
him deciding that he was down to go throw out the first pitch before the game, and he turned to me and he said, "See, Dad, I am a real baseball player." And like seeing how excited he was, and dabbing up Buddy and a couple of the players, like he got a kick out of it, and that personalized, that kind of connection that we can bring to our fans. That I felt like we say that we're jaded and don't always fully realize the emotional impact that coming to a baseball game and the different things that have on you as a family or an individual. So seeing my son just over the moon to be down there, and his eyes are bug wide, and just special for him as it's his first time really down there and doing stuff like that. So I'll probably look back on that as one of my favorite moments of the season for sure. Really, my favorite Pelicans come down to the managers. Like Rocket Wheeler, he was back at the ballpark this past weekend. Buddy Bailey, those are two minor league legends, and I probably spend more time talking with them than any of the players. So definitely the coaches are ones that I feel like I have a stronger connection with, and not to say that's a favorite, but if we're gonna go player wise, it's gonna be hard to beat Freddie Freeman. That's when I kind of started coming up, working in the industry. Was around the time he was coming through the organization, as we were Braves affiliate at the time. I think that he'd be one of the guys. If you look at our team now, I think Ethan Hearn's one of those guys that we'll talk about for years to come. The energy and fire, passion that he brings to the game. But yeah, Freddie would probably be the guy.
Also, interesting tidbit. I know we've talked about it before on the show, but you were one of the first people. You and your wife were one of the first people to see Freddie after his call up when you saw him in Gwinnett. I worked later on.
Yeah, I worked in Gwinnett when he was promoted to Atlanta, and I'm almost positive it happened after the last game of the season. And there's always kind of a staff party get together afterward, after the gates close and everything gets wrapped up for the night. And as we were walking back into the building, Freddie's walking out with a shopping cart. I said, "Getting ready to go home?" And he said, "No, I'm getting ready to go to Atlanta." And that's how I had found out. And Alex gave him a big old hug, and he was still just a kid, but even more of a kid back then. And seeing him at the All-Star game this weekend, seeing that now he has a young child who's a part of baseball, and looks like a surefire first-round pick in probably the 2040 draft, however old he is. But yeah, it's fun. It's been fun watching him go and continue to have success on the field, but also see his life mature and develop in a positive manner as well. There you go. Sit right down there, buddy.
All right, so this is Derek. This is Derek. Derek is one of our production assistants this year. helps film and produce behind the scenes along with a lot of other stuff. We've talked about him a couple of times. But he had a question that he wanted to ask you, Ryan, before we aired this. It did not make it into the mug, but I'm going to let him ask it here in person because there's something very special coming up in August, which we may be able to talk about on a future episode here. But Derek, here you go.
Yeah, so as you know, this past week, the interns challenged the full-time staff to a softball game because we're pretty sure we'll win. We just wanted to know, this is on behalf of all the interns, how badly do you think the interns will beat the full-time staff in this softball game?
Okay. So you're not just asking the question for yourself. You're the spokesperson for the entire.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not talking. We're talking about a lot of standing around in a softball game. That suits us really well.
I don't think you guys are going to be standing around. I think your guys' outfielders are going to be getting tired pretty quickly.
I would
Actually,
venture
they're
to guess
not,
50% of all batted balls, not even swings, batted balls will not even leave the dirt. That's how loose I feel like the arms are. It's like two noodles swinging a bat. Like, it's not going to go anywhere. Like, I don't see a path to success for y'all other than being able to run a little bit faster and do it more often. But I promise you, when each and every one of the full-timers is up at bat, they're going to want to smash that ball so far down your throat that you're feeling it while you come up to bat the next inning. We're going to give no quarter. We're going to take no mercy, and we're going to win. And when we do win, we're going to let everybody know that a group of old hacks beat you bad. Like, we're considering bringing in the public, allowing this to be a public event. That way there's no stories that can be told and saying, oh, well, they cheated. No, open the gates, let people come in and just see a butt whooping like they haven't seen since the Pelicans took the field.
Just off a fresh 2-week homestand at Pelicans Ballpark. It is late August. It is a beautiful day. We say that even though it is overcast. It is beautiful because the weather is absolutely delicious right now.
The temperature is perfect.
Yes. We just got off 2 weeks at home, longest stretch of home games for the Birds. We are into the final stretch of the regular season, just 12 games left to go at the time of recording. This will air in the middle of the second to last, the pendulum. Is that how you pronounce that word?
I don't know.
The second to last homestand of the regular season. But absolute delicious weather right now. Not hot and humid and sticky like last episode where you and I quite literally left sweat imprints
it was bad.
In these chairs. If you could add one rule to baseball, what would it be?
The white towel.
Like a run rally, like a run inning?
No,
or just like a game?
Just
like you're done?
Let's get rid of position pitchers pitching. If we get to that point, let's have that proverbial white towel that, in boxing they'll throw into the ring to signal that the fight's over.
I'm done.
That way teams, aren't out there, ruining arms for the rest of the series. Take your L and move on. I know that's not, in line with the competitive spirit to fight to the end, but sometimes you got to know when, your back's against the wall and it's probably not going to turn out good for you.
All right. This one was an added question because I saw it scrolling my Twitter feed. But I did want to ask you because it made me laugh. And it segues into something else that we're going to have to talk about. But in honor of the NFL being back in our lives, saw this on my Twitter feed. It's from Kevin Clark, handles @byKevinClark. He put it out on Twitter. He said, you get a carry in an NFL game. You can't kneel, and you have to attempt to give it your all at full speed. How soon after the carry can you return to living a normal life?
Never. That's it. That's a turning point. Yeah, for sure. You get guys that have prepared their whole lives for that, understand, how to keep themselves in shape, protect their bodies. Nothing of that sort relates to me. I just can't imagine the fear that I would have standing back there and knowing that it was required to give full effort, because if it wasn't, I would absolutely be taking a dive or fumbling. It wouldn't be worth it. But if forced to, and like Shaq Thompson is just sprinting at me, I have to like just stand up, man up, and just take it. No, like there's gonna be like changes to my lifestyle forever, I think.
I think it might have the potential to end my life.
Yeah, I think that's a bit drastic, but not out
I
of
don't
the realm
know.
of possibility.
At 5'5", getting hit by somebody
I'd
in the
rather
trenches
be
like that,
5'5"
I
than
don't know
6'2".
if
And I'm
I
not
survived
6'2".
that.
I think you'd survive, but I don't think that you'd be the same ever.
No, you're never the same. No chance. Not a chance. I'm not walking off the field.
Did you see the mascot video? What was that when they did the Oklahoma drill?
Yeah.
Was it the
Yep.
Kenosha? Did you see that mascot's head come off?
Yeah.
And that was a running back.
Yeah.
I don't know if that mascot's back. that
I will say, though, I think I watched that video on loop about 100 times.
I think you have to watch it. Kenosha
Kingfish. What is that, a collegiate team? Yeah?
How they got...
Can you
Dylan
look
to
up
come
on
on
there
here?
if there's any update on the mascot? If they put out a press release or anything, a medical update? The MC who was running the game actually told me, oh, yeah, you're going to be doing the Oklahoma drill with A.J. Dillon. Mir told the outlet. I'm assuming Mir is the performer. Right when I found out about me doing the Oklahoma drill, I actually texted my dad, he said. I was like, guess who's about to do the Oklahoma drill against A.J. Dillon? He texted me back and was like, what? You got this. And yeah, I did not have it at all. Goodness, oh my gosh, yeah. So if you've seen the video, and maybe we can make sure we put the video in this clip here, but there is a screen grab from the video at the moment of impact, and I'm just going to show this to you because I want to get your reaction. From
It's the same thing. It's like the body's here, head's there.
It's like something out of a cartoon. Sign this guy up to be a mascot, because you talk about a guy who's a total pro. The one thing that I was worried about when I got hit, I was like, I've got to get my head back on.
The mascot head, that is.
Yes.
I think we talked about...
That's incredible.
In a previous episode about how our mascot lost his head earlier in the year.
He did.
Far less violent.
No,
reasoning,
he
but-
just tripped over the other mascot.
Right, yeah. Tangled feet is a little bit different than A.J. Dillon.
And the funny part about that was that you were the closest to him, so you were the first responder.
That's
on
the
the
first.
scene.
That was the first time that I was on the field pregame all season.
And you haven't been on the field since.
I haven't. I forget what brought me down there, but I was down there for something, and it happened really from me to you.
Yeah.
And I was actually frozen, is he hurt or is he embarrassed? Because he's covering his head. And
To
it's
his credit, he said, that's the thing. I was just worried about my face being out.
that was the...
Total pro. Shout out to Jacob. All right, we're back at RipTydz. It is the season finale, Season 3, Episode 6, season finale of the in-season season of this show. Ryan Moore, Hunter Hornstein, RipTydz, Oceanfront Grille, Rooftop Bar, the show where we answer your questions. And this is it, Moore. We are down to the September episode, last episode of the in-season season of this show.
The in-season season finale.
Pardon the pun, but it has flown by.
It is. The days are long. The seasons are short. That kind of, you look back at opening day, it feels like it was forever ago and just yesterday, all at the same time. When you think about everything that's taken place since April 12th till today, which is August 30th, 31st, something like that. Yeah, a lot of fun has been had at the ballpark. Team has been really fun to watch.
All right, here we go. Morgan. Morgan Olson, our friend of the program out in Fort Wayne with the Tin Caps. That's another minor league team. She asked on Facebook, she wants to know, what is the number one thing you're looking forward to this offseason?
There's
It's a good question to start on.
Yeah, football. Football's kind of like our finish line. That's the way I always kind of look at it. You know, we got football coming up. I enjoy spending Saturdays watching college games, Sundays watching the professionals. Not a huge Monday Night Football guy, though.
Okay.
I am excited for this Monday night golfing venture, but we've got to wait until 2024 for that. But, you know, watching some football, playing some golf. I play golf during the season, though, but
now you won't have to change your shirt halfway through the round.
yeah.
Cools off a little bit.
Yeah,
Fall golf down here is beautiful.
We're still in find the shade season of golfing, where you got to park the cart underneath any sort of shade. Spending more time with the kids. They're getting older. They're getting more fun and less whiny and crying, and starting to become little humans. So that's fun. They said they want to start up fishing, so I think we might get some fishing rods and learn how to cast a line, if you will. I don't know. Take it as it comes. What about you?
I'll be honest, not sure. A lot of those things sound good. Definitely do a little bit more golfing, a little bit more sleeping in. Excited to spend more time with my dog. And I've got some trips home back to the West Coast Jenga again. Got some trips home to the West Coast that I'm excited for, but most importantly, I think it's football. Yes, I'm excited for the Steelers, but college football coming back with the Trojans of the University of Southern Cal and our brand new head coach, brand new quarterback. The Trojans are primed for a big year. I'm very excited about it. Penny. Hi, Penny. Penny wants to know, who are a couple of players that have...
A penny for our thoughts.
Hey. Who are a couple of players that have stuck out to you this season? There's been a lot. We have a list of players that have been promoted, and some decent names on that list at that.
Yeah, a ton of pitchers I know for sure. I always like seeing guys that come back for a second year move on. We've had a handful of those guys.
That's always something you say to them beginning of the season too. It's like, great, we'd love to see you here, but with all due respect, we don't want to see you. We want you to move on up.
And that's part of knowing what level we're at, knowing what we're doing is, the players are certainly happy to be here, but they're going to be happier to leave here and head to South Bend. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to put them in a place to get there. But on the field, you had Mate, right? He went up. Yep. Santana, Crow Armstrong, BJ.
I mean, we've got a list here, and it's a pretty long list. We'll roll off of it. And I'll be honest, some of these guys I remember just by reading the name and then going, oh yeah, they were very dominant in their brief time at the beach. Riley Martin was one of the first to go up.
That was an arm, right?
Mm-hmm. Out of the bullpen. Walker Powell, who was involved in the first no-hitter that the Pelicans threw. He's moved on up. He's actually at Double-A now, which is pretty cool. Yason Santana, like you mentioned, guy that was with us last year, came back, and now he's on and up. Drake Reindahl closed out the first no-hitter. Sheldon Reed, Brian King, PCA, P. Crow Armstrong, who ended up playing in the Futures game this year, got a knock at Dodger Stadium, and he's been lighting it up. And a lot of people are starting to take notice. He's now the number one prospect for the Cubs on Pipeline.
Cubs Twitter loves him. I see his clips probably more so than anybody else out there.
Jared Wright, also part of the no-no squad. BJ Murray, who was one of our very first interviews. Right up there in the Lost episode. Adam Lasky moved on up. Luis Devers, Porter Hodge, Kevin Mate, Tyler Schaffer, Richard Gallardo, Alfredo Zaraga, Luke Little, and the newest guy to move on up to Double-A was Scott McKeon, former Coastal product, was here with us just for a few weeks, and then he's moved on up. Interesting to note that our entire pitching staff, our entire opening week pitching staff, the starters, are all up. That's Devers, Hodge, Schaffer, Gallardo, Little, and Powell are all up at higher levels, which is quite a testament to the development of those arms. Sure. Pretty cool. Last episode we talked about favorite promos and theme nights. Yeah. This one he's asking most rewarding overall?
Not that it's completely in the rearview mirror, but like 2020 years getting further and further from us, and to be able to open up in a safe way and back to normal for most parts of it, I think is rewarding. You know, we talk about like the favorite moments, or you know, obviously the memories and all that are made, you know, are paramount. But as a staff, I think, you know, creating as much distance as we can from that 2020 season and getting back to operating a ballpark and a facility the way that, you know, we've come to know over the years, that's nice. Record number of people out at the ballpark, that's always rewarding. That's a pretty good indicator that people are enjoying what's out there on the field. And, you know, having the best record in all of minor league baseball certainly helps, but a good amount of our fans don't identify themselves as true baseball fans, and for them to come out to the ballpark and have a good time and then to come back again, I think is a testament to what you and, you know, the rest of the staff do to provide a fun, engaging entertainment experience that's packaged around baseball. So the purist that wants to come out can see the ball game and, you know, identify the talent that you just went through on that list. But someone who may not really be into baseball can come out and say, man, I love seeing Slider grab the bats or the knocker balls. You know, just kind of the totality of it all is really the rewarding piece of it. And knowing that we're, you know, a facility that can not produce, but allow guys to thrive, to get to that next level. You know, that goes to the entire operations. Jordan Barr and his crew do a tremendous job keeping the field up and keeping it at a high professional level, and you know, the results show for themselves.
Oh, very well said. I don't
you.
think there's anything to add to that one. Want to thank everybody for tuning in all season long. This has been a ton of fun. Thank you for all your questions to Captain R. Moore, who has a brand new Twitter handle. I can't call him that anymore.
No, you can call me that. I just
want to thank Ryan Cannella. He stepped in. He's done a couple of episodes. Kristen Call's done a couple of episodes. Special shout out to Lane, to Derek, to Nurse, production team, Cannella, Sammy, AJ, for John for printing these sheets out and fact checking everything and making sure that we've got delicious drink and all that good stuff. Been a fun ride. We'll see you in the off season. For Ryan Moore, I'm Hunter Hornstein. This has been Behind the Seams, presented by RipTydz, Oceanfront Grille, and Rooftop Bar.
cheers.